All right, would you take that if you're a Pakistan fan? 127 is what you've managed to restrict, I think, Bangladesh to after they won the toss and batted first. They started well. They played cautiously through the power play. They were 70 at the 10 overs mark. So they're looking at a nice finish, which could take them close to 150, 160. That saw the Netherlands proving to show it's a good first inning score. But things went wrong just after the drinks break. We will talk about a double strike in Shadab Khan's 11th over that seemed to just put Bangladesh off. Of course, a big talking point on how their captain was eventually given out. So we'll come to all that on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout. Tom Moody and Robin Uthappa with me. You boys were in the 150 plus category, weren't you? Yeah. But Urooj Mumtaz wasn't. So let me go to her first up. 139 is what she said. Pakistan have managed to keep Bangladesh to 12 short of that. So Urooj, I'm guessing if you're in that Pakistan dugout at halftime, you feel like you're in the advantage?
Oh, for sure. I think they feel confident with this. Like I said earlier, it's a perfect template. They like chasing. The wicket might hold in grip a little bit, but it's a well below par score. But it is Pakistan cricket. So, but if it's time to fire, it's today for Babar. He's short of runs, and I think just with the kind of total they are chasing, it allows Babar to take a little bit of time and get a measure of the wicket. So I think it'll play out perfectly for Pakistan here.
It's about 3 or 4 games now in the last 2 or 3 days, Tom, where hitting big in the last 5 overs just does not seem easy. We're seeing 2-run overs, 6-run overs, 7-run overs.
Yeah, and I think that's a reflection of surfaces that are a little bit tired, a little bit slower when the ball gets older. So, really, the bulk of the batting needs to be done in that first 10 overs, knowing that you're going to be challenged. You can't just stand and deliver in the last 5 overs or so and hope to get those 12 plus overs. It's not the brand of cricket at the moment. It may well be come semi-final time, be the brand of cricket, but at the moment that's what we talked about earlier, how it's been such a intriguing World Cup because we've seen different surfaces and different challenges for teams and players.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it's upsetting or almost throwing batting teams off who have a certain template, have roles for certain players. Suddenly those roles are not matching or synchronizing with conditions.
Yeah, because conditions have been so different and they've been ever changing, right? Through the course of the tournament, they've been quite different. And we've reached the back end of this World Cup, and again, there's been a slight shift in the conditions as well. So you have to be a little bit more flexible. You can't be rigid with your plans here. I think as a batting unit, you need to approach it based on what the conditions are. And certainly it has seemed over the last couple of days that batting in the back 10 is not as easy as it seems to be.
These slow, tired surfaces in Australia. Anyway, I'm talking to a man from Perth. Yeah, Perth's done. Perth sitting up on its feet right now saying what is happening in Sydney and Adelaide. Yeah. But let's discuss what happened in the 11th over. Shadab Khan with a double strike. The big talking point is Shakib Al Hasan's wicket. It had everybody perplexed. Shakib himself, the fans in the stadium, most of social media has gone berserk saying that was not out. Let's ask Tom Moody, Robin Uthappa and Urooj Mumtaz what they made of it. Tom.
Well, certainly the evidence that we saw on the television, it was clearly not out. The bat, there was definitely an edge on the outside edge, and there was certainly the bat was not touching the surface of the pitch, so that can't be confused as in that's where that noise came from. So I was incredibly surprised to see that not overturned, that decision.
Robin.
Tom's putting it mildly, and I'd be flabbergasted if I was Shakib Al Hasan. And that was that much off the ground. The bat was that much off the ground when the nick hit. And I think that could be the difference between 127 and 150, right? With Shakib there as well. And he's not been amongst the runs, but he would have been really eager about scoring runs in this game. And that could be the difference.
Yeah. Urooj, let me get your thoughts.
I mean, for me, it's a simple law of light physics. You saw a break, not a break in the shadow underneath the bat. You saw there was a clear shadow. If the bat was touching the ground, there would have been a break in that shadow. Shakib Al Hasan went up immediately. It was a delayed out in the first place. He went up immediately because he knew it nicked it. And just sort of bizarre, really, in a day and age where there's so much technology available, for it to still go against Bangladesh. And like Robbie said, it's probably the difference between a good 20-25 runs here.
I think it's worth sort of spending some time on just the umpiring not quite wrapping itself in glory last couple of days. One is the This is clearly a human error in interpreting the pictures, I would think, Tom, where the third umpire is either rushed to it or he's looking at the wrong angle or focusing on the wrong angle and inferring that there is bat involved. We've seen a 5-ball over recently. Still some way to go for the officials, even though I know it is a thankless job.
Yeah, look, I sympathise for the officials on the field of play because that is a tough job, you know. And yes, they've got now the safety net of third umpire and everything else that's put in place for them over recent years. But when you're sitting in the third umpire's seat and you've got the benefit of technology and you've got the benefit of what we have as viewers, and to make an error like that, it's nearly like you need the fourth umpire to say, hey, before you press that button, let's just revisit that. Are you sure, you know, you're making the right decision?
Yeah.
Because that to me is, you know, there's no excuse for making an error in that chair. I can understand on the field of play, that is a tough job, determining certain decisions, but certainly not in the third umpire's chair.
Yeah, if you actually look at the replays and you see how there were two shots on that one screen, and then one shot it seems like the bat's very close to the ground, but there was this, and the snicker was there as well. But then there's right next to that there's another screenshot of how far the bat was off the ground.
Yeah. And those are supposed to be sort of synchronized images to give the umpire better view. Exactly what's happening front on is happening side on at the same time.
And it's not like you're rushed for time in that sense. You can take your time and make a decision. So when you have all the information and the technology at hand, and when you make an error like that, it looks really bad on you.
And I suppose the other way to look at it is, has the third umpire viewed it that he can't overturn that on-field decision because there's not enough evidence?
There's doubt. Yeah.
Yes, so. but you know that's the other thing but there's no doubt. In our view, we feel there was no doubt, but maybe that's where he's, you know, thinking, I don't know, this, you know, I'm a little bit unsure here.
If he is unsure, which is where he's already wrong in this case.
Yes.
But he's gone with the on-field call.
Exactly. So that may have been the case. He's probably thinking,
but that's not a soft signal call anyway, right?
No, but
if it's given out on the field, which it was, you can't overturn it unless
there's clear evidence.
And maybe that's where he's gone, there's grey area here. I can't determine whether that's right or wrong. So this
is, of course, trying to find reason as to why the third umpire went the way he did. Not that there's any doubt in any of our minds that he got it wrong in the first place. So shouldn't have had it. Tom makes an interesting point, though, of just whether you need another official looking at it. I'm just trying to draw parallels with football. Some decisions, when you look at the technology, if you look at the human being sitting there and he's clearly read it wrong. Now in football, after the VAR way, FIFA has this way of having the same on-field umpire look at the pictures, right? Because there are some elements which are subjective in football. Obviously, cricket is more clear-cut. But let's say if you had Adrian Holstock or Joel Wilson on the ground there, or maybe a Mariah Erasmus, more experienced umpire who gets to view pictures on his own and makes a different call than, say, Langton Rosario today in the chair. Would that make a difference, you think, Tom?
I think definitely. And, you know, there is a fourth umpire at the ground that has different duties. Maybe that is something that the ICC need to consider, is that fourth umpire has a role in debating if there is doubt in that third seat, in that third umpire's position. And if there was doubt, you know, in that decision, you consult the fourth umpire and then you go back on field.
Yeah. One of the things that ICC should do is actually, I think, bring all the captains of respective nations together and have a consensus as to what rule changes should be made, because they're actually playing there and taking calls on the field, and have a panel discussion possibly between the umpires and captains as well, and come to a conclusion.
Well, usually the cricket committee has player representation.
Yeah, they have got that. They have got that. They've got.
Do the captains actually get involved?
There is representation of the captains, so there is a captain.
I think recommendations are carried from the captain, but I think the captains need to be a little bit more involved in those aspects. As I know,
the cricket committee has current player representation as well, and former player representation, amongst other things. Yeah. But you're saying this could be something before a tournament, get them together.
Yeah, just get them together, and then so that there's a consensus.
Okay.
Right?
I guess the other thing, just Urooj, you could weigh in as well. There'll be other arguments here. Will this take up even more time? You know, we're trying to get the game to move on, etc. But it looks like cricket's protocols and decision making, if it goes upstairs, that man's in charge. If he's making a mistake, there's no way his colleagues on the field can help him.
I think it's a team game, and it should be certainly the case with the umpires as well, because the replays are played on screen, and that's what Shakib Al Hasan was clearly reacting to as well. And we could all see there was a blatant error happening. So whether it's a director who can probably sort of not for people to hear, but have a discreet line to the third umpire, like, hold on, we can see this angle, because the director is playing all the shots as well. And then the fourth umpire comes in. I think they could have taken a little bit more time on that, because that was a huge decision. And clearly, I think there's evidence for all of us that it didn't go Bangladesh's way.
Yeah, I think the protocol limiting the on-field umpire once he's thrown it upstairs, whether that needs revisiting. And I've tried to bring this up many times, because sometimes that guy's on his own now. The third umpire. Even if there is some communication, there's nothing he can do.
I'd be reluctant to involve the on-field umpires in that situation, purely because they're looking, from probably 80 to 100 metres away on a big screen. They don't have a beautiful state-of-the-art screen that's 2 foot away from them, the third umpire. I think the solution is the fourth umpire plays a role.
Yeah, but you've got to monitor perhaps on the sideline like they do in football.
They've got the best shots. You can look at it and make an observation as a spectator or as an on-field umpire from 100 metres away, but still it's not going to be as clear and as precise as what the third umpire's got right in front of him.
Okay, so you need a VAU then, a video assistant umpire standing there. Let's point out, I'm bringing all these football references. It's not like VAR has made the game any less complicated. There's even more nonsense around it now. So there will be something that will not go down well. But I think we're quite unanimous on our panel today that Shakib got a bad one and the TV umpire Langton Roseri from Zimbabwe got it wrong. Right. Okay, so let's look ahead very quickly now. Shaheen Shah Afridi, by the way, got 4. Urooj, I still feel like when Shaheen's got 4, he still doesn't look like we're seeing Shaheen at his best, but he did the job today.
Yeah, he did the job today. He looked sort of upbeat. He got his wickets. And more importantly, when you saw him sort of dive around, he was unhindered. And that just shows that he's back to his full fitness, which is his match fitness, because he was diving around for the ball. He did put that one catch down, but Pakistan is a different unit when Shaheen Shah picks up wickets. He pitched the ball up front earlier on, and I thought he executed the Yorkers perfectly. And it is probably Shaheen the best we've seen in the tournament. So Shadab again wonders with the ball, and it is that duo that always brings Pakistan when they restrict oppositions to, well, this one at least a below par total.
They are aligning. The stars are aligning. Pakistan's star is aligning for them here. They're getting umpiring decisions going their way. They have now started their innings with Mohammad Rizwan dropped of the first ball. Straightforward catch to the keeper. So is it all coming together? Backdoor entry, a backdoor has been opened by the Netherlands. Urooj, Mumtaz, I just put that to you. Rizwan's just been given a little eye-opener. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be an easy chase. But please tell me what you expect happening.
I mean, see, it's already happened, right? Within the first over, I think he's already hit 6 down, fine leg, 1 catch dropped. But I think it'll be about Bangladesh trying to get some sort of pressure going. And Pakistan, as we all know, well, in fact, all of cricket ends up doing funny things when pressure's on. Pakistan more so. But I still feel they should back their ability. Skill comes into play here because they're not chasing more than 6.5 and over. I think Pakistan will get the job done.
Oh, what that first wicket could have done. Robin, you've just seen replays of it as a keeper.
He had to just do that. he dived for that.
Footwork, terrible footwork.
Yeah.
Good keepers, it's not so much about their hands, it's about their feet.
Yeah. It's about just getting there. Just getting your head there.
Oh, Pakistan to win this, Robin?
Yeah. But if anyone can muck it up, it's Pakistan as well.
Oh my, Robin, come on. Yeah.
I tell you how I feel about this. I think that drop catch is the first sign of it. I think Bangladesh are going to lose this and lose it quite easily. And I think they're going to lose it because of the decision that we've just spent 10 minutes talking about, and that's Shakib. I think they're living in the past, and they'll stay in the past through frustrations of what's happened there, which is mounted on top of the frustrations that they've had a few days earlier against India. I think Bangladesh have checked out, and I think Pakistan will cruise.
I think it's a very interesting point you make here, because you pile on where they feel they were wronged by umpires.
And they're emotional as well.
They are.
They're an emotional nation, and
that's
we're all. This is a World Cup. We're all emotional, but they're particularly emotional, and this will be the cloud that covers what really they need to clear to, try to defend that
Because
total.
it did look like it just derailed that innings,
Yeah.
the Shakib wicket.
It
They
did,
did
yeah.
not recover
Yeah,
from
No,
it.
it didn't
It did.
recover from there. No, absolutely.
Wow. All right. Let's pick up the chat at the end of it then, and we will have confirmed whether Pakistan or Bangladesh make the semi-final. Should make for a wonderful discussion with Tom Moody, Robin Uthappa and Urooj Mumtaz. We also look ahead to India versus Zimbabwe. Join us then on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout.